Welcome back, everyone. We've had, quite a fun tournament for once. Quite a chaotic one in our Christmas extravaganza. We finally reached the semi-finals where we see 1600s consisting of Nathan, Nust, Techniozen, and Panda play against Sark's immigrants consisting of Sark himself, Epics, Llama, and Pavilion. I'm No Nose Nova, and I am joined by none other than Gib today. How are you doing today, Gib?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I was in your VC for your team earlier, which unfortunately got knocked out. Hence you being here with me. And yeah, it seems like a very enjoyable tournament compared to what usually goes on. And it's just a little bit of fun before the Christmas kind of interim in our lives. So yeah, I'm very much excited to get to see what these teams have to offer for us this evening in this more relaxed sort of format for competition.
It definitely brings up, I think, the best in players where no one's actually taking it seriously. Everyone wants to win, of course, don't get me wrong, but no one's losing and thinking, wow, I hate my team and all that. No, it's just a bit of fun. So just to run us through the format, Gib, because I even need a refresher for myself. We didn't make it past game 2 in any of our games. All 3 of them were sweeps. It's a best of 5 from here on out. In game 1, it's hoops. In game 2, it's snow day. In game 3, it's the extra special mode. In game 4, it's rumble. And in game 5, it is beach ball. So there's really space for it to go either way in this, Gib. But I'm going to ask you anyways. Do you have a preference for the teams here? Do you think one of them will have a slight edge over the other?
I honestly have no preference as to which team will go ahead from here. I think that there's a chance either way for either team to kind of make it through to the final. It's not it's like we said, it's kind of a fun competition. So and these aren't your usual matchups. It's 4v4 rather than 3v3, 2v2, or 1v1. So definitely anybody's game. Having that extra player on the field could make all the difference.
Absolutely, and usually you have to look at obviously who's the weakest third on each team, but this time you have to look at the fourth player. And there's 8 good players in this lobby. Having played against Sark's Immigrants last match, unfortunately losing 2-0. Yeah, no, they played quite well. But that said, when like Nuss is might just be, I guess Llama can try and challenge Nuss, but in my eyes, Nuss would probably be the best player in this lobby. That said, it is extra game mode skip, so it's not as simple as just looking at the best player. So we'll see how it goes down as we wait for the players to get into this lobby. What game mode do you think is going to be the most chaotic, Gib?
Definitely going to be a lot of chaos happening in Rumble. Those power ups are definitely going to cause some havoc out on the field. Hoops is always pretty nice game mode to play, at least in my eyes. It's just one of those ones where you have a bit more fun. Everybody's trying to get those aerials, dunk it down into the basket, I guess, rather than the goal. But yeah, definitely Rumble's going to be the one to watch out for. Snow Day also a really really fun kind of game mode to play as well. So yeah, definitely a lot of the first 3 games are going to be interesting, and whether it goes further than that is another question, I guess.
No, that's a good take. I would have to agree with you, by the way, that Rumble's always a bit chaotic, but it's also a bit luck based, as we all know. Um, it's very easy to get completely screwed over by the items, and that makes me quite happy that we don't see it in the initial best of 3. Quite disappointed myself that we didn't get to play the egg game mode. I think that one's always going to be a bit tough, considering that, it's so tough to read that ball bounce, even if you have all the boost in the world. But look, we'll have to wait and see how it goes down in this series, as we are getting ready to start. The players joining now, despite me not telling them to. Oh no. Ah well, we will get underway here. As the players finally joining. Do you even have a prediction for this game, One Gib? Do you have any insight on the player's ability to play some hoops, or is it just going to be all over the place because it's a 4v4?
I think it's definitely going to be all over the place. I have casted Nuss playing in more serious competitions before. I know he's a very capable player, so definitely going to be interesting to see how that changes, if at all, if it translates from that regular 3v3 to a 4v4 in hoops. But going for a shot there, almost knocking it in, but the defender's there, able to just very at the last minute knock it out. But yeah, it seems like 1600s are definitely putting the pressure on Sark's Immigrants at the moment to really just try and get that opening basket, I guess.
Yeah, no, they have been pushing for it, but that said, Sark's Immigrants, they're not afraid to push back. Sark himself trying to push that one, and Epix gets a perfect little bounce off the ceiling, and no one on 1600s can read that, and that's an early, and 2 against a run of play, 1-0 Gib.
Yeah, 1-0. It could be an indication of what's to come. That was a cheeky play from Epix there. Nobody really was able to read it, like you said, and just managed to let it come down into their basket. But you see, 1600s are on the counter-offensive. Panda scoring for them and evening that scoreline up 1-1. It's anyone's game still. 3 minutes, 54 seconds left to go. Again, it was a full team commit on 1600 side rather than Epic's sneaky little goal. But it'll be interesting to see who can score another for themselves and really open this game up.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see who will be the one to take that chance. And 4v4, you don't have to. You can play risky. There's gonna be 3 players behind you, hopefully. But at the same time, this is grounds I'm sure no one in the lobby is necessarily used to. And Pavilion just has a free goal for himself there. I'm going to be honest. Not exactly sure where the defense is on 1600s. Panda, it's a weak clearance. Nuss and Techniosen both on 0 boosts. And that's a lead once more for Sark's Immigrants.
Yeah, it looked to me like the defenders didn't know who was going to go for the ball there, and they all kind of had a brain fart moment and nobody went for it in the end. But like you were saying, having that 4th player in a game like this could potentially be a really good thing or a really bad thing if there's not enough communication and there's going to be those double commits for balls. But again, you can go for those double commits because even if 2 people go for the ball, you still have 2 more on your team that can recover from a double commit that potentially doesn't work out in your favor.
Yeah, look. At the same time, though, it can be quite threatening if you do have that double commit that doesn't go in your favor, and then you have 4 players charging down your net of 2. I don't think it matters too much in hoops, quite a small pitch. And what a save by Pavilion, by the way, keeping us at a 2-1 game. But it's very interesting when double commits come out in this mode, when there's 4 players on the pitch. That said, Panda sees a miss from Epix, which Sark did double commit on, and he will find himself an equalizer.
Yeah, that was a nice equalizer, just managing to knock the ball down that little bit faster into the basket, and the defenders really weren't there to stop that from going in. Like we had seen Pavilion managing to knock the ball out of his own basket for his team. But beautiful save there. Is it going to be enough? They're able to get the clearance just that little bit more, but come back and they need to start pushing it back towards the other team's basket here. The word basket's really throwing me off. I'm used to saying goal.
Yeah, look, this whole match is throwing me off, I'll be honest. It's not too easy to cast a 4v4 hoops game. And I feel bad for those who have to cast a 2v2 tournament that's officially hosted by RLCS, let alone 4v4s. That said, it has been end-to-end, has been entertaining. And here comes Pavilion, keeping control of it up until it's a bit of an odd pass to Nathan. Panda turning on that one. What's going to happen here? Sark gets a good dunk. Nuss coming out with speed onto the backboard, but Epix reads it. Llama into the fray. Nathan, that's not a good one, but it's read well. Llama versus Nuss in the midfield battle. Pavilion trying to get a cheeky one, and Panda can't read it. Such a smart shot from Pavilion. And for the third time this game, Sark's Immigrants will have the lead.
Yeah, that was a really, like you said, a cheeky goal. He managed to just chip it in over the edge of the basket there, and the defenders almost knocking it further down towards the bottom there, and managing to get the managing to get the point rather than the goal. But yeah, it's been a very tight game. It seems like both teams are taking the strategy of trying to keep somebody on the backboard for defense most of the time, and then once they kind of push up towards the opponent's end of the court, they go on a full out offensive. Another goal coming in for Sark's Immigrants there, managing beautifully to get that into the net, into the basket even, and just slotting it down. So 2 goals up, a minute left on the clock. Who is going to take this game one? It's going to be an interesting comeback if the comeback is on.
Yeah, they're going to have to trying to push for it. Pavilion and co, they do not even want to think about it. They want to get a third, put this game to bed. That's it. Here's Panda with a bit of boost, but gets bumped off. Sark just trying to stay behind the ball at any cost to make sure that, yeah, you just don't get a chance because you aren't getting a good first touch at all. Nuss can't quite find the angle there. So Pavilion versus Nathan in the orange half. That shot's just a bit high. Techniozen wins the ball, but there's no one there to follow it up. There's no boost. When there is boost, there's just bumps coming out. Epic's happy to waste time booming onto the opponent's back ball. Techniozen gets it above. Epic's there to pinch away. And Nathan, it's just a weak shot. It's an awkward shot. And you have to think, Gib, that is game one to Sark's Immigrants.
Yeah, it looks to me like this will be game one to Sark's Immigrants. Going into the second game with a 1-game lead. Going to be an interesting thing to come now that we're going straight from hoops into snow days. So a little bit more space on the pitch for sure. Possibly a lot less bumping going on we might see, but definitely going to be an interesting matchup going into game one, being one above their opponents. How are they feeling is definitely going to come into play here. 16s are, they're down a game, but they're not out yet. But losing a game always has a knock on the mental strength going into a second game, especially in a best of 5.
It's always just going to slightly get you. I do think that's a given. And I think 1600 should be a bit annoyed. They did manage to... They played that one quite close for a lot of the game. It was a 1-goal game up until we were entering that last minute. And then just slightly, ever so slightly, started to escape them. But I can see them being better off here. It's a full pitch in snow day. And I don't know, I feel like Nathan specific. I don't know why. But I think Nathan is just going to be an absolute demon on snow day. Oh, and we have a tad bit of a mistake in the lobby. And we will have to have just a quick, unless I'm mistaken, a quick restart. If I can get confirmation about that. Yes, we are seeing a restart here, folks. So, unfortunately, lovely goal to start us off, but not one that counts. And players are voicing their dissatisfaction to Rory. No one's happy with him right now. He's not even playing, and he's been the most influential person in this game too. So, look, while we're waiting, Gib, do you think that win's going to carry over? How heavily do you think that win's going to carry over for them, actually, for Sark's Immigrants?
I think it's not going to have a huge impact on game 2. I think definitely, in a more serious tournament setting, it would be quite substantial having that win going into game 2. Usually kind of puts a bit of wind in their sails. They know that they can beat their opponent, but here, because we're playing these extra game modes, it's not going to have, and everybody's having fun while they're playing. It's not as, like you kind of said at the start, it's not that you're losing a game and you're screaming at your teammates because they helped the opponent win the game, but definitely might have a slight advantage going in. But overall, I don't think it's going to have as huge of an impact as would be in a regular kind of standardized tournament.
I think that's fair to say, especially because obviously it is not quite as serious as those standardized tournaments that we were talking about. But at the same time, I do like to think the players will be using it as an excuse to rally on. And we're finally underway. Thank you, Rory. Into this game too. The double kickoff strat being employed by 1600s, but only ending up in their own back corner. Panda missing the boost not once but twice leads to Nuss's own teammate stealing it from him, which I just love to see. And Epics from the ceiling gets a 50, comes down to Pavilion who's 50s it. Llama turning around, taking it to the ceiling. Not quite what he had in mind with that first touch. And Nuss's shot gets blocked away to the corner.
Yeah, it seemed that touch there, he didn't quite get what he wanted, but potentially going to cost his team if they can't get their defense together. But they're trying to hold off from Sark's Immigrants and trying to get that position out of the way. There's the clearance they're looking for, but not quite good enough. It was almost a pass to Sark for them, but trying to get that clearance, trying to get it towards Sark's team's side of the pitch, but Sark's Immigrants are just piling on the pressure here. It's clearance back to 1600's net again, over and over again. It's just Sark's Immigrants are relentless. They're not letting up on that pressure at all.
Yeah, and they have every reason to push for it. 4v4, there's less boost to go around. If you're forcing 4 players to rely on their only corner boost, eventually they're going to run out, and that's exactly what happens. Pavilion pass into a bump. Doesn't matter that he gets demoed, or they gets demoed by another player, because he takes out Nuss with him, and that is the difference as we see Sark's Immigrants, true Sark himself, go 1-0 up.
Yeah, definitely in this 4v4 format, it's going to be a case of if you can have your opponents in that boost starvation mode, you've pretty much, if you keep piling on that pressure, will eventually score on them. So definitely looks like it could possibly be the strategy that Sarks are trying to use on their opponent and just keep it towards that end of the pitch. But beautiful clearance from Sark's Immigrants there, but nothing comes of it just yet. 1600 still have a chance, have an opportunity to clear it back to the midfield position. This is good for them, but somebody there to intercept, push it back towards 1600's goalposts. And they make something of this opportunity. It's there, Pavilion knocking it in just about through the defenses, opening up the scoreline by another goal. It's 2-0, 2 minutes 52 seconds on the clock left. It's gonna have to be a case of 1600 need to respond soon enough.
All eyes, I think, will be on Panda for that one. He doesn't really do enough on the defense, and that does cost them. But they do have a chance to respond, but oh no! Not only does he miss the ball, or the puck rather, but then he saves his teammate's shot. And what could have been and should have been 2-1, instead stays at 0-0. And 1600s, they seem all over the place right now, Gib.
Yeah, potentially having that 4th player on the field is coming to a disadvantage for them. It seemed like Nuss was clear on goal, but missed the puck, and then, like you said, knocked his teammate's attempt out of goal. It should have been a 2-1, but it's not. And potential here for Sark's Immigrants to score again, opening that scoreline up that little bit more. But beautiful clearance from 1600s there, managing to get it towards their opponent's goalposts. Can they make anything of this situation? They need to score. Not quite anything coming of it just yet, but they need to stop that clearance from Sark's Immigrants from coming to fruition. They need to keep that pressure on them. That being said, moving down to 1600's goalposts. They got that clearance, beautiful clearance, getting it all the way up to the opposite side of the pitch. Can they make anything of it now?
Here comes Sark. He does get to flip reset, rolls down, shot from Llama, saved away by Panda, and the third goal would surely lock this win in. Meanwhile, 1600s, they need to get one back if they even want a chance right now, because their best opportunity they've had so far was that shot by Techno that Nuss just inexplicably saved away. And as we enter the last minute, Sark, is that one on target? Not quite. So Nathan booms down the field, Pavilion intercept. Gonna try and 50 this one with Nuss, playing the slow game, knowing there's not an immediate need for a goal. They can waste as much time as they want. Epix clears it towards the side. Here comes Llama. 50s it with Nuss, buying so much time in the clock if that one flies into the air. Techno gets the win. Panda with the shot, no one's there. And as we enter the last 30 seconds, 1600s maybe have a chance.
Yeah, that was an unlucky performance from Sark's Immigrants defensive team there. Sark almost getting the last touch on that puck before it went in. Not what you want to have, but definitely they still have that opportunity to take this game. Beautiful save from Llama there, managing to knock it just clear in the nick of time. But 1600's definitely looking very dangerous on this push. Definitely coming off the high of getting that point off of Sark's Immigrants, but the clearance is there for the time being. No, it's not. The chance is on. It's defended just about. That was very close to going in. 3, 2, 1, and it's looking like Sark's Immigrants is going to take game 2. 2 up going into game 3. It's looking pretty bad for 1600's chances at the moment.
Yeah, it's looking very, very good for Sark's Immigrants at the same time. You have to give it to 1600s. They did make a good push for that at the end of the game, but it was too little too late. 2 or 3 unfortunate, not even mistakes from them, because it's just getting unlucky. You know, Panda trying to double tap it off the backboard just doesn't go his way. Nathan gets such a strong 50, but just goes slightly wide. Things like that made the difference at the end of that game. And on another day, that goes in, it goes to overtime, and suddenly 1600s have a great chance to equalise the series. But instead, Sark's Immigrants are on series point as we get into this extra special mode. 1600s are going to have to make something happen for their tournament lives.
Yeah, like you said, 1600s just got a little bit unlucky on some of those opportunities that had appeared to them, but nothing came about. But this ball, or I should say egg, is definitely going to cause a little bit of havoc going through this game. It's a little bit unpredictable. Panda getting a beautiful touch there, knocking it into Sark's Immigrants goalposts. An opening goal from 1600s, the first of the series. So it's going to be interesting to see, can they use this momentum to their advantage? Can they score another and keep Sark's Immigrants from taking another game from them?
As Llama says to us, it was an egg ground pinch. Something that's already tough enough to do in a regular game. To do it with this ball, look, it takes some ability to be able to read it. That said, Sark's Immigrants, they want to bounce back quickly. The bouncing on this ball, or the egg rather, still getting used to the terminology, is throwing everyone off. Oh no, and it throws the whole defense off. Nuss. Technios and Day are quick to let the players know they should have saved that. And it bounces right into the net to double their lead.
Yeah, that was like this egg is so unpredictable and where it goes, but 1600 managed to just be able to get that right in the position they needed it to score that goal, flying over the defenders on Sark's Immigrants. But here we are, another chance, another opportunity. Sark's Immigrants definitely putting that pressure on them now, trying to gain back a little bit of ground on 1600's leads, but their 1600s are really putting that pressure. Very aggressive attacking play from them now, but time to defend. Time to get into those positions to stop it from going into their net. But yeah, the predictability on this ball, it's very hard to read, especially for the players. It's going to be interesting to see who can take advantage of this positioning. Nothing quite comes of it. A beautiful clearance there. Is it going to bounce straight into the goal? No, it's not. There's somebody there to defend.
Yeah, it's been much better from Sark's Immigrants. They've done quite good on defense, creating chances on offense. There's just that opening minute that has them in this position. That said, Nussway 50 is going rolling towards the net. Nathan there, however, in the nick of time. No one has that read, however. It just goes right back to that blue half. Panda's shot on target. And 2 minutes in, he has tripled their lead? No, sorry, he's got a third goal for them. Tripling their lead would just insinuate, went from 1 goal to 3 goals. But regardless, that is great from Panda, and it is great from 1600s.
Yeah, that was a beautiful read of where the ball would be. Maybe not, or at least should be, but yeah, beautiful read. Managing to get that touch and knock it straight into Sark's Immigrants' net. But here we see Pavilion trying to make something, trying to get the ball in the position his team needs to score that goal. Going back for that clearance, but not quite getting it from Lama. And the danger is there. Is there anybody to take advantage of this situation? Here we are with Lama on the ball, trying to get that position, but not quite getting the clearance, or apologies, getting the clearance exactly how he wanted. The ball is coming back towards their net though. You need to be careful. They need to have that rotation speed to get back to the goal, but wow, Technozen managing to, beautiful goal, managing to get it almost from the halfway point there and just knock it past Lama, not being able to get that touch on the egg before it went flying into his own goal. And that is a 4-0 lead from 1600s. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock. Can Sark's Immigrants have a goal-scoring opportunity present itself for them?
Well, I don't think even if they have a goal-scoring opportunity, it'll make a difference at this point. 1600s, they are just messing about. They're scoring the goals for them. And some of the players on Sark's Immigrants, they've voiced their disliking of this game mode. They're not enjoying it too much. Meanwhile, look, 1600s, they're having loads of fun. And that will take them into the next game. Well, when we get into the next game, it'll do them a world of good. Panda centering this one. I think they're just booming the ball around at this point, and who can blame them when they're having this much fun? Sort of what the Christmas modes are about, Gib, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's all about having a little bit of fun, and it seems that they're just smacking the ball as hard as they possibly can to see how it bounces rather than trying to get those goals at the moment. But a beautiful goal from Epics, managing to just knock the egg and it rolling into the 1600s goalpost there. Not really a defense for him to fight against, but yeah, definitely seems like everybody's having fun on the 1600 side. Ooh, almost a goal there for them, but not quite. The crossbar being a 5th defender for Sark's Immigrants. They're piling on the pressure, 1600s. They're trying to keep the egg up on Sark's Immigrants' side of the pitch. That being said, beautiful clearance there off the backboard, managing to get it towards where they wanted to go, but nothing quite coming of it just yet. The defense is very strong. Having that 4th player on the pitch means they can really tighten up that defense and have that, almost, managing to have that extra man for that clearance if one of them doesn't get it. But yeah, they're definitely having a lot of fun with it. Oh, a big miss there. Not quite getting the angle off the egg that they want.
Doesn't seem like it'll matter too much though. 20 seconds, a goal is needed now by Sark's Immigrants if they want a chance to win the series. That one taken to the backboard, however, Sark gets a read but can't get the shot off. And Technozen clearing away. Epics trying to get that back into the box, but as time ticks down, it does seem like we are going into game 4 unless Sark's Immigrants have something to say in these final 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think potentially Sark's Immigrants, if they're having a disliking to the ball, potentially not wanting it to go to overtime, but also still have the opportunity for a kickoff goal here for it to go into overtime. But 1 second left, and if it touches the ground, it could be all over, and 1600s will take the game for themselves going into game 4. There it is, touches the ground. 1600s take a game from Sark's Immigrants, who look like the most dominant performance throughout the last 2 games. But yeah, 1600s really had a comeback in that game. What do you think, Nova?
Yeah, look, they have every reason to think they could have even taken that one. At the very end, you know, rallied up the troops, sent the full-out attack despite being only 2 seconds after kickoff. It's unfortunate that didn't quite go their way, but that said, they will take that momentum into the next game, which is Rumble. If they felt like they got unlucky in this one, well, maybe luck will be on their side in this mode. It's always a bit chaotic in Rumble. I don't think there's as much skill to it, but with with the physics and the balls finally being normal, you'd like to think, Gib, maybe the higher level players that you see on 1600s would enjoy this one a bit more.
Yeah, there's definitely that potential for that kind of high skill level to really show itself now that the ball and the physics have returned somewhat to normal, but still having those power-ups to worry about is definitely going to be an issue. That was a beautiful teleport there, getting that extra defender out of the way, but nothing quite comes of it just yet. Llama getting that clearance that he needs, but it's passed, almost pretty much passed to Nathan, who can dribble it up the field. A freeze is a wonderful choice there, managing to just get it stop in its tracks. Pavilion potentially had an opportunity there to just drive the ball straight into the goal, but here we see nothing comes of it just yet. Pavilion trying to get that aerial touch, not quite having the power on it that he wants.
Yeah, very interesting start from both teams. As insinuated, it is very chaotic. Very end-to-end, really depends on who gets what power. And players are using them both aggressively and defensively, which is great to see. Sometimes you see just too much aggression coming out from the players when they get a certain power-up. But that said, Panda, good idea. It doesn't quite work out, so Nuss putting it right back into the swing. Panda can't quite get the backflip, so it's cleared all the way downfield to Tekniosen. Booms it away, and Llama there to take back to his own corner. Nathan there waiting, gets the boot off, but nothing quite comes of it. Epics. Oh, Panda! Does it go in? No, Sark gets a vital touch. Nuss puts it away! And it's put right back into the swing things once more. Epics misses. Sark, oh, uses his magnet lovely to get clearance and more onto it. Panda with the demo. Everyone knows going to be on Llama. No, he won't. The follow-up saved away. And who's there next? Llama uses his spikes, has control of the ball. Can he hop over the defender and make it 1-0? Yes! Can! And Sark's Immigrants take the lead after 2 minutes.
Yeah, just that spike onto the ball, managing to just give them that advantage. It looked like somebody, Technos, tried to get a plunger onto the ball, pull it away from Llama, but nothing quite came of that, and Llama got that goal. Beautiful touch, soaring towards their goal, but nothing comes of it. The defenders easily reading that ball. It's going to be interesting going in throughout the game. Those are definitely used for both the attack and defense. Beautiful one from Panda down in the end of the field towards Sark's Immigrants, scoring that for himself, and getting out the scoreline. The defenders really couldn't do anything about that.
Very uses this power from Panda. Sends it flying down the field, like you said, Gib. Unstoppable, that one. Nathan, what power upside here, trying to make something happen himself. Vivian rises to the occasion to get cleared away. And now we see a couple of double commits. Nuss teleporting away from the play. Or no, maybe he was the one teleported, which would make much more sense. Drops them from Nathan. Oh, that was not where you want to use your spikes, mate. Pavilion will be the benefactor of that one, as he just has an open net to hit it into.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate timing of the power-up. He stopped the first attack, but Pavilion just being there in the right moment to knock that clear off of his car and straight into the goal, opening the scoreline in their advantage. 2-1, 2 minutes left to go. Getting a chance, the defense, to double commit for that, try and stop the ball going in. What can be made now for the 1600s? They've got the ball down on the side of the pitch that they wanted, but can Sark's Immigrants get the clearance? There it is. 1600s there to stop it. The ball going in. Technoise. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call you Techno, just because I can't pronounce your name. And managing to get that beautiful goal for themselves, evening out the scoreline. A minute and a half left. Anyone's game. Those power-ups really coming in clutch for some of these plays.
Oh, and a goal without the power-ups this time. Sark will just see that one soar into net. Look, Panda goes up, and Panda does not get a touch. Maybe he thought Nuss had another. Maybe he thought it was going backboard. But an instant turnaround. Or, well, it's rather them going into the lead for the third time this game. Reminds us of game 1 with Hoops. But this time, Panda wants to respond quickly. Doesn't quite have the second touch, but falls in front of the box. Techniosen has the equaliser. And we are 3-3, tied once more.
Yeah, that was a beautiful use of the power-up. He saw the defense there. Someone went for a pre-jump, but wasn't quite enough to stop it from going in. Kind of soared over the defenders. Very nicely done. Beautiful timing on the power-up there. Ooh, very close chance there for Nathan. Didn't quite get the touch he needed to slot that in past the defense without those power-ups. But it's looking like both teams are trying to make those opportunities for themselves while the power-ups are kind of charging up, trying to get that extra goal for themselves while nobody can really mess with them and stop them in that goal-scoring opportunity. Oh, beautiful freeze there and knocked away by Lama towards 1600's goal. Potential chance for them if they can keep the pressure on, and if 1600s don't use those power-ups to stop them in their tracks. Beautiful ball from Lama, not quite getting the touch he needed to finish it off.
Oh no.
1600s are going to clear it back towards Sark's side of the pitch.
Sorry, I saw Lama had used his I'm not even sure what it's called. Oh no! That one just squeezed in for Sark. I don't know if that was an own goal or what happened there. Panda just misses the ball and Sark says thank you very much. And that is 4-3. We enter the last 20 seconds here. And they need a goal now, Gib.
They really do need a goal if they want this to go to overtime and give themselves that extra chance to win this game. 9 seconds on the clock, not much time left. It's very scrappy in the corner. Everybody's trying to get a touch, get the ball to where they need it to be. But Sark's Immigrants are going to take game 4 for themselves. And that was a very interesting and chaotic Rumble game for sure. Definitely some of those power-ups being used at the wrong time.
I think it's a combination of that, and as much as I love Panda, there was a few mistakes in that game 3. Or 4 rather, 2 of them leading to a goal. And overall, that leaves us to the end of our series. Sark's Immigrants beating 1600s 3-1 to find themselves in the final, where they will play none other than Godadians. And that was, look, you have to say, Gib, quite deserved from Sark's Immigrants.
Yeah, Sark's Immigrants were definitely the dominant force in the Hoops game. And in Snow Day, they kind of were there, and they had those opportunities open themselves up for them and really made the most of them when they did. 1600s managing to take game 3, the extra special, that weird shaped ball just being able to be read a little bit better by 1600s for that win. And then of course Sarks taking game 4 Rumble. They had that kind of luck with the power-ups on some of those goals and definitely took advantage of that. 1600s had a great performance overall. I'm not saying that they didn't. I think they played very well considering the game modes, but definitely Sarks Immigrants having that more dominant performance overall.
That is a perfect way to put it, Gib. But for now, we are going to move on from focusing on that semi-final between 1600s and Sarks Immigrants, and we are going to focus on Sarks Immigrants facing Goodaddians in our grand final, also best of 5, which will be underway in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
Jimmy at Woodstock. Drum me around in your red Ford. Shivers down my spinal cord. Oh. 'Cause you got me holding. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word. 'Cause you got me holding. Even if my jokes sound funny, my tongue tied up on it.
Welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed your little wait there as we just prepared ourselves for our Christmas Extravaganza final. On one side, we have Godalians going unbeaten during the tournament, consisting of Shark and Tomster, the usual lads, along with Panda as well, another familiar face, and Lucapo rounding off that roster. Meanwhile, Sark's Immigrants, we saw them earlier. Sark, Epics, Llama, and Pavilion looked to go 2-4-2 on stream and 5-1 throughout the tournament. I am No Nose Nova, and I'm joined yet again by Gib. So, how are you feeling for this final, Gib?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup for sure. Tomster, Panda, I've casted them playing many times in a regular tournament format, but going to be interesting to see how those skills I've witnessed before translate to these very unusual game modes in this grand final as we kick off in Hoops. Hoops is kind of anyone's game, you know, having that short court, it really makes it kind of easier to score those open up those opportunities for scoring points here. But looking very fearsome from Sark's Immigrants at the moment, trying to hold that pressure onto Godalians, but Godalians managing to get that clearance just when they need it. Try and hit it back towards Sark Immigrants' side of the court. But there's another clearance from Sark's Immigrants, trying to get it back towards Godalians, trying opening up the scoreline with the first net. And there it is for Godalians. Shark managing to slot that in past the defenders to get that first basket, or hoop, I guess.
Yeah, it was a great pass from Lucapo. 1-2 from the two lads. And Shark there to finish it off. Going for a bit of a bump play on the next kickoff. Doesn't quite work out, so the ball bouncing around midfield. Shark trying to get a little pop there. Doesn't quite work out for him. So Pavilion booming down the line. Shark is the first man up. Bit low on boost. And Llama pre-jumps the shot quite well. Panda right back there on the backboard. And this just seems like boomer ball. Shark a bit awkward on zero boost, but does manage to get the save. 1-2 between him and Pavilion. But Tomster and Shark quickly up to it. Panda off the corner. Epics does read it. Pavilion there for the follow-up. Who's next to the ball? None other than the Tomster. Shark hits it to the left-hand side. Epics waiting patiently. Gonna take it to the air, surely. Who's there to match him? Takes a wall. Pavilion with the drop down, and Shark does so well to save it. And he keeps us at 1-0.
Yeah, that was a beautiful save. Managing to just chip it out of his net that little bit that he needed. But the counter attack is here. Sark's Immigrants definitely trying to pile on that pressure, even out that scoreline as quickly as possible. An opportunity there for Godalians, but Sark's Immigrants managing to clear it just in the nick of time. Definitely, like I said, putting that pressure on them, trying to open up or to even out that scoreline and really keep themselves in this game for the time being. 2 minutes 54 on the clock left. Can they score from this opportunity that's appearing in front of them? No, they can't for the time being, but there is a ball, but somebody there to read that and stop it from going in.
Yeah, it just feels like every single time Sark's Immigrants go for something, Godalians have a response. Pavilion's shot was their biggest test on that defense so far, and Shark was just right there to save away as if it was nothing. Like, again, that's a great shot. Sure, 4 players commit, but it doesn't matter how much players commit if it stays at 1-0. Shark, however, putting that one on target. Tomster getting the tap away. Shark trying to go for it, but does the ring of the hoop rather, does get in his way. So here comes Pavilion. Tomster doubling up to get that one away. And now he has a chance for himself. Shot on target. Gets a dunk at Epics, but it slams against the hoop. Panda onto the backboard. Nothing comes with it. So Epics takes it to the side. Gonna take to the air. Instead he takes it low, trying to catch out the 2 players who've re-jumped. But it's just a bit too low to even be considered on target, Gib.
Yeah, it seems to me that Godalians really have their defense on point at the moment. They've got all 4 players in those positions they need them to be in to stop any ball from going into their hoop. and just getting that clearance when they need it at that moment in time. But it seems to me that they are going for those attacking plays, but not as much as Sark's Immigrants are. Sark's Immigrants are definitely having to activate that rotation speed a lot more than Gedalians at the moment. Somebody there to stop that off the backboard. That backboard defense is insane. They are really committing hard to it and stopping any ball from going into their hoop at any time. And they're really just trying. It almost seems to me like they're trying to play time at this moment. You know, they have that one goal. If they can lock down their defenses, they don't really need to worry too much.
And they have they've shown that they can lock down their defense in the first 4.5 minutes of this game, Gib. But there's still 30 seconds to go. That one almost sneaking its way in. Shark instead booming away. Lupo looking to get the dagger to the heart, but doesn't quite find its way into the net. Lupo playing it back towards the Shark. Epic's a bit awkward, but instead Llama is the next player to get the touch, gets control, trying to find the pass to Pavilion, and Epic's getting intercepted by his own teammates. 10 seconds left. Sark has to make something happen here. Plays a cross, but Epix isn't facing the right way. Llama doesn't get a touch. Who's there? None other than Shark, who booms away. They have to come across the whole pitch. Sark pops it up. Llama, what's he going to do here? What? Taps it up himself. But it's just played midfield by Tomster. Shark, is he going to get a second here to finish off the game? No, Epix clears it away. Tomster does kill it. Llama almost there, but Gedalians will find themselves taking away this game one for themselves.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like Gedalians got that early goal and then just locked down their defense, stopped any ball from going into their hoop, and just that was kind of it for them. Whereas Sark's Immigrants were very much on that attack, but then had to fall back once that clearance came from Gedalian's side of the court.
Well, we will move on from focusing on this 1-0 and a brilliant defensive performance at that from Gedalians in this 1-0 to our game 2. As I didn't earlier explain, the game mode order, again, as mentioned last series, but forgot to on our way back for this one, is Hoops, as we saw in the first match, then Snow Day, then the Egg Ball mode, extra special mode as it's called in the files, for anyone who wants to give it a look and find it for themselves. Fourth game is Rumble, and if it goes to game 5, we end on Beach Ball. But for now, Pavilion, he will be focusing on this game too. They need to start off strong if they don't want to, or rather, if they do want to make it to that game 4 or game 5. Llama here, taking up onto the ceiling. And a very, very deep line being played by Gedalians. All of them on the backboard or in their own net. But I think they're happy to play that way if it just guarantees that they don't concede, Gib.
Yeah, it seems that they're very content with their 4-man in the net for a couple of moments there to just stop anything from going in until they can, you know, take advantage of an opportunity when it presents itself to knock the puck all the way down to Sark's Immigrants' side of the pitch and get that goal scoring opportunity going. But Sark's Immigrants really piling on the pressure here, not quite getting the touch from Llama there that he wanted on that to knock it in. But here we see Gedalians moving up towards Sark's Immigrants' side of the pitch for a little bit there to try and get the attacking play going. Nothing comes of it. That clearance has been negated now that Sark's Immigrants are trying to put that attacking pressure on Gedalians again. They've got that ball, or puck, I guess, out of the way for the time being. Beautiful save there from it going in, knocking it out to the corner, down into the midfield. Can anything come of this, or is Gedalians' 4-man strong line on the back post going to stop another from going in? It looks like that is the case for the time being. Can Sark's Immigrants take a moment to concede a goal against their opponents? Not quite. The clearance is there from Gedalians. Can they make anything of this opportunity?
Well, they've been going at it time and time again. Both sides having some decent chances, but for now we do see it remain 0-0 as we enter the 3rd minute of our game. Lukapo trying to get pinch away, doesn't quite get it, so just falls to Sark. And Shark playing across his own half. The pinch, oh, it's not there at all. Lama, can he pinch it in? Lovely strike into the bottom corner. And Sark's Immigrants get their first goal of the series, capitalising on a Panda mistake.
Yeah, Lama just managing to get that beautiful pinch off the puck, managing to slot it into the bottom left corner of their goal. Gedalians, time to have a response now. Can they make anything happen, or are they going to go back to that tried and tested 4-man back on the back post defenses? They are looking aggressive, trying to even this scoreline out, but Epic's on the puck there. Nothing quite comes of it. Daniel's defense is able to cut that out nicely, clear it down the pitch towards Sark's Immigrants' side of the game. In the corner, can they make anything of this? Nice clearance from Pavilion there, but nothing. It passes back to Panda and manages to score, sliding into that bottom right corner of the goal, and no defender there able to stop it from going in. It's even Stevens now, 2 minutes on the clock left. Who's going to open up the scoreline that little bit more and take the win in game 2?
You'd have to think Gedalians, after having that moment of pressure, that moment of domination, they're going to see the aggression is the way to go in this game 2 here. And they are responding with just that. Tomster getting a decent 50 there, but Pavilion is the one who takes it away. That said, that one might just drop in. Lama has to get a save. And suddenly out of nowhere, Gedalians, they are really sending it all. Tomster now collects. Beats Sark, plays midfield. Lukapo, it's a bit high, so Pavilion does have the time to make a great save onto it. Panda can't beat Epics, who's there just once more. He seems to be all over the pitch this match. Pavilion, not quite good air dribble, so Shark trying to pinch it with Panda. Only goes away, so Lukapo takes to the corner. Gonna put into the midfield. Shark, Thompson up after the demo from Lukapo, who can tap it in. Pavilion can't quite get around it. And Gedalians find themselves a second goal this game and finally find themselves in a winning position.
Yeah, that was just Lukapo being in that right moment to really just tap that in past the defense. Sark's Immigrants not really able to stop it from going in. They had a good couple of saves there, but nothing came of that. That beautiful coming into towards Gedalians goals. Can they take advantage of this opportunity? Gedalians are locking down their defenses once again, clearing that puck all the way to the Sark's Immigrants side of the pitch. They are definitely piling on the pressure now, trying to get that extra goal before the end of the game. Really just certify that they are going to take this game 2. But Sark's Immigrants very close on scoring a goal there. Nothing quite comes of it just yet, but piling on that pressure, trying to keep Gedalians from getting that defense locked it down. There's the clearance they needed, but there is Sark's Immigrants right there to stop it, move it back up towards Gedalians' side of the pitch. Beautiful stop there towards the midfield. Now it's 8 seconds left on the clock. Can Sark's Immigrants take advantage? They can. They even the scoreline. Sark slotting it past the defense and managing to even the scorelines with 4 seconds to go. It's either kickoff, goal, or overtime for these two teams now.
What a way to do it. For Sark's Immigrants, may I just add. Lovely pressure. But that said, that one falls into the midfield. Tomster beaten out by Pavilion. Shark shot wide, but Pavilion unintentionally, I believe, keeps it up. Sark puts it into the midfield. Lukapo Epics there with the save. And we do see overtime in this game too. Two players going for the puck once more on that orange side. Sark getting the demo. So what can he do versus Shark? Just slows it down. Try to slow it down versus Tom as well. If it worked the first time, why not go for it the second? Epics, however, only pinches it to his own side. And a double commit at that leaves them a bit awkward. A demo as well. Lama versus Panda on the goal line. A very strong 50. Tom pinching it high. Epics controls, however, doesn't really have the boost to make anything happen. So it ends up as just being a pass to Shark, who goes for the corner steal himself. Sark struggles to control it. And it's chaos in this back left corner, Gib. But so far, it's still a tight game.
Yeah, chaos is the only way to describe it. It seems like Godillions are really trying to put that pressure on Sark's Immigrants, really trying to get that puck into the back of their net, not letting it come out of that corner very much. There is a bit of a clearance there, potentially a chance for Sark's Immigrants to take it back up the field, but no, Godillions are there to bring it back down towards Sark's Immigrants' goal, but their defense is locked down at the moment. They're trying to keep it out of their goal lines, or between their goalposts, I should say, and trying to clear it out into the midfield, but nothing comes of it just yet. Sark able to stop that puck from going towards his net for the time being, but there is Godillions to respond to knock it back towards the goal of their opponent. Beautiful puck through the sky, and Shark managing to knock it in past the defenders, taking this game 2 for themselves. They're 2 up at the moment. How is that going to translate going into game 3?
Look, it's very good from Godallions. They, even after, the equalizer comes out 4 seconds to go, they don't let it phase them. They just go again. And look, they're gonna bring it into this game 3, but it does need to be mentioned. When Godallions were facing Aviators in the previous round, which consisted of Mr. Enrong himself, Lovely Cans, Arctic, and Dormer, they did drop a game in the excellent game mode. So they are gonna have to focus up just a bit and make sure that they can, I guess, stay locked in. Don't get too ahead of yourselves. There's still a series to play. Even if they have dominated the past 2 games and played very solid defense, they still do need to make sure that they go about this one correctly.
Yeah, well, I think that Sark's Immigrants know that their opponents aren't invincible. They aren't these well, they are godlike players. Everybody in this lobby is quite high tier, but they know that they have those times where they can score those goals on Godallions and really take them for a ride and take a game from them. They know their opponents now. They've played 2 games against them. They know that they can score those goals when they have that momentum going. It's just a case of, can they take advantage of them and really use the luck of the ball bouncing? Panda slotting it in past the defense there. The egg ball is back. As we know, some of the players do not enjoy this one, but an opening goal for Godallions.
Yes, if we're going to name names, Llama specifically, not a huge fan of this egg ball. It was where they dropped their game last time out. So for both teams, if they win here, it'll be their first win in this tournament with this ball. And an equalizer coming out for Sark himself. Look, Godallions, they sent the house there. Did they need to? Maybe not. But that's just the way they go about it. And that has, unfortunately for them, led to it being 1-1.
Yeah, it seemed like Godallions sent everybody up the pitch to try and stop that from almost coming back towards their way, but not quite managing that at all. And Sark managing to just slide it into the goal right when he needed. Llama stopping the ball from going in from his teammate's shot there. Not quite what he wanted to do, but another opportunity opening up for themselves. Not quite. The clearance is there. The egg ball is bouncing every which way. Players look like they're struggling a little bit to read where it's going to go at times. And back towards Sark's Immigrants' side of the pitch. Can they get the clearance they want? There it is. Llama managing to just tap it away, get that pinch off the wall. Godallions are really trying to lock down their defense again. But there it is. Llama just knocking it in past that defense in the goal line. They were a little bit too far back in their own post to come out and save that on time. Looked like an attempt there, but nothing to stop it going in. Beautiful goal from Llama, I must say.
Yeah, a rocket of a shot. Sees it just fly into that next 3 players on the goal line. None of them can save it because of how good it was. That one, however, did look like it would open up for another opportunity. Instead, just goes flying across the frame of the goal. Panda takes it to his own corner. It hasn't worked out for him. Sark smashes it into the net, and for the first time in the series, a team sees themselves wish a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, it looked like Sark saw the bounce of the ball, saw the trajectory of the egg, and went for power on that shot, and it worked out well for him, opening up the scoreline 2-1, 3.5 minutes left on the clock. Can Gedalians make anything of this? But that is unfortunate for them. No defenders there to stop that from going in, and just bouncing all over the pitch and right into Gedalians' net there. That was unfortunate touch from Gedalians, it looked like, knocking it into Sark's Immigrants' back right corner, and it bouncing all the way back to their goalposts, opening the scoreline. A 3-goal lead for them now. Can Gedalians make a comeback from this, or is it going to be a case that Sark's Immigrants can close their defenses off, open up more goal-scoring opportunities, and take this game 3 from Gedalians?
Yeah, Dave. Oh no, it's not happening again. I thought it was going to just for a second, but unfortunately for them it didn't, or fortunately for them rather, it didn't end up going into their own net. They're now employing the tactic of hitting it off their own corner in hopes that the opposite can happen, as multiple players from Sark's Immigrants just missed the ball, and Panda has an open net for Gedalians. And a 2-goal lead suddenly looks a bit more manageable.
Yeah, definitely looking very, very dangerous on that egg. Trying to get that, like you said, bounce it off their own corner into their opponent's goal, but not quite working out for them just yet. Potentially still an open chance for them to score another goal, tie up that game a little bit more. Panda sending it straight into the right-hand side corner, top right corner of Sark's Immigrants' goal. And just the defense was not there to stop it. Nobody could have stopped that. That was so much power on that egg. He really hit it home, and scoring that goal. Oh, closing the scoreline just that little bit more. They're 1 goal down, 2.5 minutes left to go. Very close to the post, stopping that from going in. Sark's Immigrants need to tighten up that defense if they want to stop another goal from coming in, but they've got it in the midfield. They've got it towards Gedalians' side of the pitch. Can they make anything of this? Gedalians going to manage to clear it towards Sark's Immigrants' side of the pitch. Nothing comes of it just yet. It's very close to another goal scoring opportunity, but the crossbar being a 5th defender there for Sark's Immigrants. Can they take advantage of the situation that's appearing before them? Not quite yet. No goals scored. 1 minute and 57 seconds left on the clock. Sark's Immigrants really need to tighten up that defense if they want to stop more goals from going in. And there it is, Panda scoring another one, closing the scoreline to 4-4, just managing to be there in the right position to make sure that that went in. And yeah, the defenders coming in a little bit too late to stop that, but definitely going to want to be locking down that defense that little bit more now.
No. That is so unfortunate from Lama. I'm not even sure how you actually do that. And here's the issue. Just for a bit of background context you viewers can't see. Llama and Panda have just been beefing just a bit throughout the match. All a bit of fun. And that, suddenly, Llama saying do that in RLIS. When Panda scored that rocket of a shot into the top corner, has now come back to bite him. And Gedalians, they're going to want to close this one out here. 1 minute and 20 left though, it is anyone's game. That said, if Luke Poe can convert this one, it would have been quite possibly over. Instead, Lama's shot goes wide, bounces towards his own side of net. Who's going to read this? 2 players breach on both, it goes towards the corner. Llama can't read that one. Luke Poe finally just adding a bit of control into it. And Pavilion, who's off the ceiling, is the first one to that ball, Gib.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate from Llama. Just touched it the wrong way towards his own goalpost there. But looking very fearsome from Gedalians, trying to keep that pressure on Sark's Immigrants, try and close out this best of 5 as quickly as possible. Sark's Immigrants need that opportunity to open itself up to them and score this equalizing goal, but nothing comes of it just yet. It's all very scrappy in the midfield at the moment. There's 3 men up going for that ball. Oh, very close there, almost knocking it into the goal of Sark's Immigrants, but not quite the crossbar there to stop it. Everybody's going for these full commits in the air, trying to knock the ball in some possible way that it will land in their opponent's goal. The opportunity is there. Can he get the double touch? Not quite. Trying to get that pinch, but it's up in the air. 4 seconds to go. It's looking like Italians are going to take this game 3. And there it is. Game 3 for Italians.
And I would say what a way to do it, but that was something to witness. Mistakes coming out from both sides. It's a lot of chaos on top of that. But at the end of the day, Gadalians will not mind one bit, as they, through probably, I don't even know, I'm still stunned by that Lama own goal that gave them the series win, to the point that I don't even know what to say. But at the end of the day, what we do know, Gadalians are your Christmas extravaganza champions. And look, Gibby, I do have to say, based on that, it was deserved.
Yeah, they seemed like a very formidable force for Sark's Immigrants throughout that entire final for them, and just Lama managing to score that almost being a 5th player at the end for Gadalians, scoring an own goal. Very unfortunate own goal, I must say, and kind of closing that out for them. Very much deserved. 4 Gadalians played very well. Of course, Sark's Immigrants also played very well throughout this championship as well, must be said.
Yeah, look, they did give up a good fight. We're not going to deny that from them. And to get to not only get to finals, but get quite close to taking a win in all 3 of those games. It was a 1-goal game. And Shark and Co, they are very, very high level. Above all of the 4 players on Stark's Immigrants team. But regardless, they gave it their all. They gave it a good chance. And they can be happy with themselves with a 2nd place, I'd say. So look, that's all from me. Do you have anything else to add at all, Gib?
No, apart from thank you so much for watching, and thank you to the lovely No One Knows Nova for being a co-caster today with me, letting me co-cast with you. And of course, a big thank you to our wonderful producer, Rory, who you haven't been able to hear behind the scenes, but we have, who has been doing a stellar job all night. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope everybody involved had a little bit of fun this evening.
Think I'll ever stop.